everybody, my name is Farmer Phil. We're here with Liv and we are going to get the calves out on our fodder rape. So this is the gorilla rape that we sowed and it is deep. Just to give you an idea, like there's a huge crop of stuff on it all throughout. 3 machines here, has to be moved, moored, rake and the harrow. And as you can see just there beneath the tree, the bee harvester is yet to be pulled out. We'll have to get that pulled out before we let cattle out, so that'll probably be done tomorrow, because we're in the middle of the pumpkin patch picking days and we only have a few hours in the morning. So me and Liv are going to blitz through all we can get done and get a wire up that hedge, across the top hedge and around the bottom hedge. That way all we have to do is put up wires in the middle to split them, and then the plan will be that the cattle come out of the shed out here, and as you can tell we've had a lot of rain and things are quite mucky. So I'm going to move machinery and Liv is going to start putting out pigtails. Is that the plan? That's the plan. So anyway.
In. My Nelly. My Nelly. Come on Nelly. Make a start. Here's our nice new lake. Action!
Action. By a camera, a TV director or something now. We want to drive a lock of posts just round the silage pit because we don't want the cattle to go up the silage pit and end up on top of it. And we also want to go as tight in that way as we can, especially along the back of the hedges and that, because we want to tidy it up, get rid of the grass. Nothing will get rid of the grass better than a lock of calves for a tank. So our tillage fields out here, the 3 of them, don't have any stock fencing except for where the grassland meets this field here. There's no stock fencing because there hasn't really been stock out here. Last time there was stock out here would have been 2016, 6 years ago. Post.
Oh.
Is it recording?
Upside down, yeah.
Well, you must have pressed record from upside down, so you'll have to stop it. It's just laying up along this hedge here, and as you can tell, there's machinery in it. Nothing of any good, just old machines that got parked in the hedge. Hopefully someday I'll get them out of there. Most of it is old scrap stuff that got just parked in the hedge and kind of forgot about. Was never used again. So what I will be doing, or I hope to do, because we have the other field out there with the fodder rape in it. This fence we're putting up along here, when the calves go out there, we'll take this down and we'll let them eat into the hedge, eat down all that crap, and it just gives us a better chance of getting in there. And maybe we might get some of it up to Rodney Wilton and get rid of it, because it's bloody nuisance where it is. So anyway, we're just up here at the top of the field, and the run right up next to the hedge, nothing grew. Maybe not as heavy as up here, but there's kind of start lacking a bit of clay just along here. But you can see the flood. We've quite a bit of ground underwater at the minute, and it's stretching from back there at that tree all the way across and over to there in the distance. There's about 15 acres underwater at the minute down there. That's the flood. But up here, it's as hard as a rock, not leaving the track. You get about halfway down the hill, that's when you start getting into softer ground. Just have to the post there, and as we move the wire across the field towards this end, then this will mark the hedge here. You can see a different angle on the flood now. Just when we were driving across there, and then he was running out there, and we've lots of grass out there, but with the flood can't go near it. It is quite mild at the minute, like you can really see unseasonably mild. And touch wood, we've had no issues in the shed yet, but it is shocking mild. I need to put a corner in that. It is shocking mild. We're nearly there though. Once we get this wire up and across, it's a wire up the middle of it, cattle can go out of the shed. Happy days. So, wires up to the corner, Liv is driving, Bertie's here, and our lake has got bigger. So it has. Nearly all of the first field bottoms is underwater now. Next stop, wire across the middle, lock the gates and the cattle are out. We are here, we're ready to put our wire across the middle of it. So I'm just standing in the shelter of the door because it's very windy. So we're going to go from that corner there down to the corner of the gap there, and we're going to give them this side to start off. So it's a nice big square, so it's going to take them a few days to eat it. So we have the reeler hooked on the back of the gator, so it rolls itself out as I drive through it, and then Liv is just able to walk through the crop and put out the pigtails as needed. So you can see how deep the rape is now. We're in the middle of it here. Like it's deep. It's deep. It's over Liv's knees there. There's a great crop of it in the middle of the field now. So that is the calves on the way out there. So there is gravel. The concrete ends around the bin there, and then there's gravel all the way out and all the way around the silage pit. There's gravel in. It was put in years ago, and clay off the field then kind of got pulled in on it. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But they're going out there anyways. Out onto the rape. It's very mild weather still for cattle in the sheds. That's why it just kind of works getting them out. So they're out now. They'll graze the rape, they'll graze the gorilla rape now, and we'll have them in and out of the shed. That's kind of the plan. And we'll strip graze, so we'll move the fence when this square eaten. We'll move the fence on a couple of feet, on a couple of feet, and we'll keep doing that and work our way that way. And when we get to a certain point, we'll try putting up a backing fence, and we'll try and have them going in and out of the shed. If it gets too mucky, we'll shut them in. If we get a nice dry hard spell, we can let them back out. So in that regard, it should work all right. There is a couple of ways you can graze. You can block graze it. I see a lot of people, you see bales placed out in the field where the fence will be moved, the bale's already out there, and that bale will be fed to the cattle when they're out. But for us, we think having them in and out of the shed should work the best, because if we get really bad weather, we can keep them in, or if the field gets really bad, we can keep them in without damaging the ground too much. That's the plan. That's the calves out on the gorilla rape. So we are out here on the fodder rape. There's actually no one out here because we're only after feeding them in the shed, so they're all gone in. And I can't get over how hard the ground is. Now you can also tell there's a lot of the leaf material has been kind of walked into the ground. And yeah, not what we want to see, but I think that's just kind of a sign of them getting out. But the biggest thing I can't get over, just all the rain we've had, how good the ground is. And you can tell that the gravel's over there, it's solid. There's none of this big slop and trying to pull the feet out. It's actually very, very good. I'm really surprised at how good it is. But as you've seen there's a fair bit of leaf material. Sorry to get windy. It has to get windy when I come out, doesn't it? But as we go up the field, there's still some of this to be eaten yet, and there's less leaf on the ground. And that's kind of because the calves are starting to get in on it a bit, and they've done a lot of walking. When we let them out, and the last clip you would have seen when we let them out, and I was grand to put the drone or whatever, I never got that done. I was back at the pumpkin patch about 10 minutes. I got a phone call. Yeah, them cattle are out. And I come in, and all of them have broke out, and they run round the field, right round the outside, and back in again down there. And then they were walking under the fence here and walking under the fence there, and with lots of power in the fence. Loads of power. So me and bro had to go around, step it all down. I forgot the camera with me because I had it left over beyond at the house. And anyways, we got them sorted, and they've settled now, and they're working it. And all that was wrong with them was they weren't hungry, because we'd fed them that morning. So I'm gonna go and just step on the fence a couple of yards, just to give them another little fresh bit, not give them too much so that they're going to start walking it into the ground, but then hopefully that they'll kind of start grazing it. That is the plan. So we're up here at the top of the field. There is quite literally just a handful of calves have come out. It'd be nice to see the more of them out, but they're just in there grazing because we've just after feeding them. Yeah, all in all, this gorilla rape that Gold Crop sent us out, so if you want to check out the variety, I'll stick a link in the description to Gold Crop so you can head over and check it out for yourself, see some of the information on it. We're very happy with how it grew. It grew tremendously well, but it did get a great run at it. Got in early, got lots of slurry on it, and it has done well, has done very well. The cattle, there is a lot of leaf material on the ground, but we did give them a pretty big square to start off, and the first 2 days they were on it, they just walked and walked and walked and walked, and they walked the most of it into the ground. But the purpose of this forage crop is hopefully to reduce the amount of silage we'll be feeding this winter, as we are a bit on the low side. Will be one way of saying it. We're absolutely flying through the pit at the minute, and it is a bit on the scary side just how much we're using. So we'll be giving the cattle less silage, and then hopefully they'll be grazing more of this, and then hopefully that'll save us silage in the long run. And two things with this crop: it's high in protein, so we should, in theory, we should get higher growth weights on the calves over last year's, in theory, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. And the other thing as well, one of the big traits of this variety of rape, the gorilla rape, is that it's supposed to have a good regrowth ability. So when the calves, when we get so much of this grazed off, we'll put up a backing fence so that'll keep them off what they've already grazed. And if it stays mild as it is now, it's quite mild at the minute, then we should see the plant start to regrow, re-leaf, and we might get a second grazing off it. It may be hard done in this field, because as we move that way it becomes quite hard to put up a backing fence without making quite a tight choke point at the bottom of the field. Where I suppose the proof will be in the pudding. Will we see increased growth weights? How well will the crop, the rape, regrow after we have it grazed? And he's munching away on it. But yeah, they're the things we'll be keeping an eye out for, to see how was it work growing the crop and that. But look, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check out Gold Crop and variety, link will be in the description down below. And anyways, that is it for me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Good luck.